There's one, where as Trump flip-flops through different issues, changes his minds constantly, or revises his position based on new information. How about that? Yesterday, the Trump administration announced new sanctions on Russia's two largest oil companies, Rosneft and Lukoil. And it turns out that these new sanctions have teeth. It's shocking that this was not done previously. It's shocking the Biden administration didn't do this. It's shocking Trump didn't do this earlier. But these have real teeth. This is making it very difficult for India to import Russian oil, and it looks like they're going to cut importation of Russian oil significantly. That'll also help them vis-a-vis the tariffs that they are paying the United States. But they were negotiating around the tariffs, and they didn't offer to stop buying the oil because of the tariffs. But the sanctioning of Roosevelt and Lukoil, because of the fact that if you violate the sanction, there are all kinds of consequences downstream, they are basically backing off of buying Russian oil. So it sounds like the Indians are doing it, but also, even more importantly maybe, is the fact that it is really hitting the Chinese hard. That is, China today announced China today announced that it is going to stop buying oil, at least from these two companies. Now, it's likely that that Russia will find a way around this. I mean, the sanctions on the two largest oil companies, but at the end of the day, Putin controls all of it, right? So you could imagine the oil being funneled off to some of the smaller oil companies that maybe have not been sanctioned, and still be able to sell to China. But as of now, both China and India are significantly shrinking their purchase of Russian oil. Russia's basically funding its war to a large extent with money coming in, from oil. So Russia, to a large extent, their war effort is going to be significantly, I think, crippled. Is going to be significantly crippled if they lose these markets, particularly if they lose the Chinese and the Indian markets. So that is good. Starving the Russian market is good. And you can see these are really having an effect by the fact that oil prices jumped. Oil prices went significantly up. So people expect a lot less oil coming out of Russia. Therefore, there'll be a lot less oil in the world market. And as a consequence of that, oil prices went up. So it has, that suggests to me that this is, we'll see if they sustain, if they stay up. As I said a few minutes ago, I believe that Russia will find a way around this. I don't think this is long lasting, but at least for now, it's having a real impact, and will be significant. Oil prices spiked to above 64, which is, means that people expect reduced supply. It also means that whatever oil Russia does sell, not from these two companies, they sell at a higher price. So we'll see what impact net this all has, but I think, at least in the short run, it's going to have a significant impact on the Russians, and then the question is, can they sustain it? Also, supposedly from the administration, there was a Wall Street Journal article yesterday saying that the U.S. lifted restrictions on Ukraine's use of European long-range missiles. So the U.S. has to approve, because U.S. technology is in the missiles, they use long-range, even though they're withholding the Tomahawks. They're letting, for the first time supposedly, they're letting, for example, the Ukrainians use the Storm Shadow, which is a British missile, firing it deep into Russia. So yesterday there was the story that the Trump administration has approved this, and that this is part of the pressure that Trump is putting on Putin to agree to this ceasefire deal, or to agree to better terms, I guess, for the Ukrainians. Interestingly enough, Trump doesn't want to be associated with that at all, and he doesn't always deny stuff that's written about him, but he did go yesterday on Truth Social and say, the Wall Street Journal on the USA's approval of Ukraine being allowed to use long-range missiles deep into Russia is fake news. The U.S. has nothing to do with those missiles, wherever they may come from, or what Ukraine does with them, which is nonsense. That's just not true. But, he probably got a phone call from Putin or one of Putin's cronies saying, what are you doing? Why are you approving this stuff? It's very hostile. Don't behave like this, Donald, really. And he backed off. So while I think the approval is really there, we'll see if the Ukrainians keep using them, Trump is distancing himself from having anything to do with it, which is just interesting in and of itself.